I am pleased to speak today on a subject of great importance to my constituents, and I congratulate Dean Lockhart on securing the debate. I'd also like to congratulate Which, the FSB and Age Scotland for their campaigning on this important matter. The decision by Link to reduce the interchange fee is all the more concerning against the backdrop of local branch closures. In my own area, 3 market towns close together, Langham, Lockerbie and Annan, are all threatened with RBS closures, and that was recently added to by a proposed closure by Santander. And while fighting these closures, my constituents were assured that at the very least they would still be able to access cash machines. Now we are told that Scotland will be among the hardest hit by a drop in the number of free-to-use ATMs, and this is especially bad news for those from rural communities where 1 in 5 people already say that their nearest machine is far too far away to reach on foot. As is the case with anything to do with the financial sector, it's quite hard to get to the bottom of who is really responsible. But Link's membership is comprised of 37 banks, so this scandal again looks like it comes from the banks. Despite the reduced interchange fees, banks could make the decision to maintain free-to-use ATMs where they are attached to local branches that are pre-existing. But if the last few months are anything to go by, then relying on the social responsibility of RBS and Santander seems somewhat optimistic. The loss of a local branch can be difficult enough for a community to deal with, but losing a cash machine makes a bad situation worse. Once larger machines are removed from towns, smaller ones can't cope with demand. People are forced to travel ridiculous distances for want of a few pounds, and the amount of cash circulating in the town plummets, harming local businesses. I recently discovered that applications have been made to Dumfries and Galloway's planning department for the removal of an ATM machine in Annan, and it's my understanding that that's directly linked to the reckless decisions made by RBS on bank closures. On a more positive note, campaigners in Maybole last week secured an impressive victory when RBS made a dramatic U-turn and reversed their decision to axe the town's ATM. And sustained pressure from local campaigners and MPs and MSPs has resulted in RBS offering a reprieve to the closure-threatened Gretna branch in my area and 9 more across the country. Of course, all branches and ATMs across the region and across Scotland should be kept open and not just granted temporary reprieve. But these examples show that keeping up the pressure does have an impact, and that's why debates like this are so important. People are rightly incensed by the idea that the banks that caused such carnage in 2008 are imposing more damage on communities. And I hope that the banking sector will learn from events of the past few months and recognise that there is a continued need for face-to-face provision as well as cash withdrawal and deposit machines. With regards to Link, they must acknowledge the responsibility as the network to which almost every cash machine in the UK is connected. In their submission to the Economy, Jobs and Fair Works Committee inquiry on bank closures, Link stressed their commitment to providing consumers with access to their cash for free through the strengthening of their financial inclusion programme. But this is too important to leave to Link's voluntary corporate social responsibility. It's the role of the UK-wide payments systems regulator and the Bank of England, which also regulates Link, to ensure that consumers are able to access cash effectively and efficiently. So maybe it's time for the Bank of England to step in and force Link to revise these plans. Thank you very much.
Thank you.